Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for the OPTC video, and in today's video, we're diving into some treasure map for the 5+ Jinbei against Jewelry Bonney for the Egghead celebration. And in today's video, I'm going to be going through the teams that I've been using as of that prep video that I put out and what I've sort of tweaked for the team to make them faster, make them more beneficial, or really just gloss over what I stuffed up on. Now, I did put out a couple of screen recordings of my buildable teams video. Hopefully that helped you guys out, as well as the New Year's Legend video. I put that out as well. If you guys have any questions about that, please leave them in the comment section below. I'm always a bit hesitant, obviously, releasing content when I'm not commentating over the top to sort of walk you guys through it. But if you guys have any questions, please let us know in the comment section below if you guys are struggling, and we can hopefully help each other out there. But let's start it off with the Intrusion battle against Lilith. Now, something I glossed over against Lilith is I forgot about paralysis removal. So what I'm actually doing here is I'm using Sanji as my captain. It's very annoying on this fight because they kind of want you to bring a Lilith or a Bonney friend captain. However, I didn't pull Robin, so I want to be using Robin friend captains. Plus, if you want to be maximizing your boosts, you really want to bring a Robin friend captain anyway, and that's going to sort of maximize your gains there. So I'm using a Robin friend captain with Sanji as my leader. That's the team. Those are the supports. Let's dive in. Now, with that, I can actually use Bonney as a sailor, and Bonney removes both bind and paralysis for stage 2. So that's the big upside to using the character as a sailor rather than a captain. But having Sanji as leader just means that I can get around that bind on that final stage. So on turn 1, we're basically just going to tap our way through these turtles here. No issues whatsoever on that. And then we can move on to stage 2, where we get the bind and paralysis. Now, the bind is on our captains, so again, this is what makes Bonney so great as a sub. We do take 50% HP cut and 3 stacks of hunger. Bonney can get around the hunger debuff with her potential abilities. But with starting as Nami, you actually start with a full board of recovery orbs. So you should have a lot of recovery orbs to gobble up. So that way you don't have to worry about the hunger debuff regardless. If you are lacking on stuff like tablets, or if you are using a friend captain Bonney and they don't have theirs maxed either. Bonney is going to also give the enemy the weakness debuff. So that's going to allow you to just do a lot of damage because all your type orbs will be counted as unfavorable. So that way you can easily just kill on stage 2. On the final stage against Lilith, she has resilience for 7 turns. She's immune to everything except for increased damage taken and weakness. She gives you attack down, slot bind, and pain. So very annoying stuff. This is where we are going to use our Sanji special. Sanji's going to remove the bind on our sailors and give us an attack buff. Now, the problem here is they want you to use Sanji on the turn before, so that way you get the 3-turn attack boost moving into this stage, because if you do an attack boost, you lose all your positive effects and you get a random captain swap. Now, Sanji's not the best captain in the world, so honestly, I don't really care about the captain swap. It's not a big issue for me. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the Lilith special to give myself end of turn damage to get through the resilience. We can use Nami to get around the slot binds, and then we can use Robin to give ourselves some tap timing, as well as remove the resilience. Plus, if you have enough HP, depending on your ship and stuff like that, you can use Jinbei as well. Jinbei is going to give you resistance down for int and psi units. Ideally, though, you should probably use him first. So then that way you can get around, well, you can just sort of keep a whole bunch of matching orbs there. But as you can see, no matter who your captain becomes, you have enough in-characters to take this stage down. You have a final tap with Bonney as well, but obviously this is a batch team, so not a lot of you guys will have it, but if you guys do have it, you'll be able to run something like this. It gives you a lot of points, and as you can see, I've been kind of slacking this treasure map. I've had a lot going on in my personal life and whatnot, so I haven't really been playing all that much. We're on nav 10, and we're almost half a day in, so we're almost a full day in. But nevertheless, we'll get to the 10 mil and then we'll sort of just cruise from there. But as I was saying, I have put out 2 screen recordings with 2 separate runs that do use the New Year's Legends on the final stage that give you a lot of points with Robin as friend captains. Then I had a bit of a more buildable variation for you guys too. Now, I know a lot of people are going to struggle to find particular friend captains and stuff like that. However, if you can't find friend captains of the typing that is the new world, so if you can't find Bonney friend captains, if you can't find Lilith friend captains, if you can't find Robin friend captains, honestly, you shouldn't be playing in the new world. I know a lot of people aren't going to like hearing that, but at the end of the day, if you don't have access to those types of friend units, or you don't do a couple summons on the banners, there really isn't a point for you farming up and being in the New World League. Like, it doesn't make any logical sense to do so. Oh, man, I want to actually show you guys the actual mini-boss fights, so I don't want to land on a card here, so, like, let's get rid of this card. If it fails, then at least I can pick one up. But like I was saying, if you don't have access to those friend captains, it might suck to hear, but honestly, I would just sit in New World, in Grand Line. I would sit in East Blue, farm up materials and stuff like that while you work on your friend captains listing, because having a good friend captain list and a good friends list is kind of just as important as having a good box. There's a lot of people around in the Discords. There's a lot of people around in the community that are looking to add people. So don't be afraid to ever reach out and look for other players for your friends list. Now, I digress a little bit here. We've moved on to the Brook fight here. This is the team that I'm going to be rocking. I don't think it changed all that much. Something to note with this particular team is too that Whitebeard is immune to stun. It's something that I glossed over. And having that ability means that you don't need to use an A special on the final stage, nor do you actually need the support that is on Yamato. So I am using Ace as a wave clearer for stage 2 when we aren't on the minimap. However, when we are on the minimap, I'm actually using Yamato, mainly because on the final stage, if you have a lot of HP or use a ship that gives you a lot of HP, Ace will actually throw back all of the damage that does get inflicted against however much HP that you actually lose. So you can do stuff like this, and then depending on how much HP you have, you can just use Ace, and Ace will literally just kill. You don't need a lot. Like, as you saw there, I had 30,000. Whitebeard gets around the barrier, so you can just throw that back. But on the final stage, you are going to want to, like, use Ace as a bit of a wave clearer, get the conditional that way. But look, that's how I'm doing it with Brook on the minimap, and it just makes things a little bit quicker for me. And but if not, and you use Ace as a wave clearer on stage 2, you really only have to use the Whitebeard special, and then you can kind of just single tap your way through that. So let's see how we go here. Can we get ourselves a gold card, or can we get ourselves a rainbow chest? A 4 means the rainbow chest. Let's see if we get anything good. Bro, bring a Super Tender tablet. I already got this from the chest. 10 of those provoke tablets, man. For me, that's like hot garbage. But at the end of the day, like, it's nice that that chest is there. Moving on to the fights now. Let's take a look at Chopper. The Chopper fight hasn't changed really all that much. If you're running double Nami Karina and then Brook for wave clearing, you can just fill the rest of the team out with literally whatever you like. Just something to note is you do want to bring a character that has 2 stacks of hunger removal. So I'm using the free-to-play Luffy. If you guys are using Luffy on another team, the Legend Bonney is a really, really good option for this team. It's a 1.2 times booster as well, so you are getting a lot of points. But, look, you have options is what I'm saying. If you want to make this team a little bit faster as well, you can replace Zoro Sanji with the rare recruit Shirahoshi. That's going to allow you to start the quest with Rainbow Orbs. And because you're wave clearing, you're going to keep the Rainbow Orbs moving into the final stage. And they're going to give you a 2 times multiplier. With this particular team, though, I'm using the Tesoro ship and double Nami Karina. We can actually use the super swap of Nami Karina to rotate all the block orbs into G orbs, which they increase to 2.25. Plus, with the super swap, you're actually getting a base stat boost too. With Karina, you can remove Threshold. Nami can remove damage reduction. The limit break ability of Luffy's removing the hunger, and wham bam, thank you ma'am. You have a lot of damage to kill here. Like, it's nice. You have so much room for supports too. Like, you can use color affinity supports. You can use the Luffy special to give you color affinity. You have a lot going for you with this team, and it's going to work for a very long time. Plus, it's very nice duping limit break materials like that, because as you guys know, I am down bad when it comes to limit break materials. I always am, and it's how I play the game. You know, I use them, I get them, I use them, I get them, I use them. I like to spend shit, I guess. Moving on to the Chopper and Usopp fight now. I did change this team just a little bit. I did find this fight was actually kind of crap, to be honest. On paper, it seemed like it was all going to work out pretty hunky-dory running double Kaido. However, if you guys have max sockets, it doesn't exactly work in your favor, because you actually get the death hit at 20,000 and then the threshold from, what's his name? Alba. It actually comes down to about 9,000. So that way you don't get the auto proc of Kaido. Plus there's normal attacks only as a barrier. So Kaido's not killing on that revive that I just immediately went to for some reason in my big old brain hole. I don't know why I just immediately jumped to that conclusion that he would kill on the revive. But I did, and that's actually not the case. So what I'm actually doing now is I'm using Carrot as my captain and then a friend captain Kaido. So that way I can auto proc the the captain ability of Kaido for the revive. On the revive, there is a barrier for a Wano orb, but you get silenced on your crewmates, and they literally can't do anything at all, which is so crappy. But with Carrot as our captain now, we can use the Roger and Odin special to give ourselves an attack and orb boost to slashes. We can easily kill them on turn 1. They're going to do 20,000 damage. We have plenty of HP thanks to the Whitebeard ship, and with Kaido as our friend captain. That way we auto-proc Kaido. He's going to give us a full bottle of Wano orbs because of Roger and Odin and their ability to swap quick orbs into Wano. And then it's just an easy kill from there. So I know a lot of people might be using Roger and Odin on the final boss. You can use Izo Kiku as a wave clearer here. You can use Yamato on this team if you really want to. As you guys saw on the previous teams, I wasn't really using her. So you have a lot of options as well. But Carrot as a leader with Kaido just seemed to work a lot faster for me, just bypassing those defensive effects. Moving on to the Jinbei fight now, the one that I was kind of dreading building for from the get-go turned out to be the most fun to actually running Double Gear 5. Running Double Gear 5 with 3 Int Straw Hats and then Shanks works exceptionally well. It's so much fun using the revive to just counter a death hit and then use the abilities of Gear 5 as a captain to bypass the blind, as well as all of the defensive effects once you go into the Gear 5 form. Keeping one as Luffy means that you can revive, and it just works out really hunky-dory. Something that I did gloss over, though, thanks to my homie, Mr. J, he did mention that if you don't have your Shanks at level limit break 5, you're not going to have 6 turns of paralysis removal. But stress not, you have a lot of room for supports on this team. You have Rayleigh for Luffy. You have Lime Juice, who actually goes on Shanks himself. But if you want to get a lot more damage output because you're not getting the base attack from Shanks, you can use something like Rayleigh on Luffy and then Vivi on Shanks to get an orb buff as well. But with the Shanks special and the EX, you're now going to bypass everything. Shank gives a base attack boost. He gives an attack boost and a chain boost at level limit break 5. And as you can see, it's just a single tap to kill Jinbei. He's going to hit you with 100,000. You are going to die. Your other Luffy's going to revive, and it literally just clears the quest. It's so good. It's so good. I'm a big fan of the team. Robin wave clearing, Nami wave clearing is great. And then the last unit you can use just any other Straw Hat, like the treasure map Sanji. He's a very good option. But the team worked great, and it's a lot of fun running that little mini-boss fight. On to the final fight, though, against Jewelry Bonney. Once again, we are using a batch-built team. We are using Robin as our friend captain, but this time we're using Lilith as our leader. Now, I was chopping and changing during my prep video. I used Bonney as my captain, I believe, because I wanted to get access to her super type to get more damage. However, I then did remember that if your captain isn't cerebral, you're not going to get the overstacking of attack boost that Lilith can provide, and then you're going to be stuck with a 1.1 times attack boost. This is really not that big of a problem early, but eventually it'll definitely catch up with you. So using Lilith as our captain once again means that we can actually get that ability to pop off, and it means that we're going to get a lot of extra damage with an attack boost from Sanji. So whilst we can't get the super class of Lilith, that doesn't really matter. We really just need our captain to be a cerebral unit. Now, we do get special reversed by 1 turn, so that's where the Nami special comes into play, and then we can use Jinbei to remove the 5 turns of attack down. Now, it is 6. I have a ship that's helping me out, but you guys do have attack down removing supports, like Chopper on Sanji. That's going to work nice and easy. And then with the orb buff of Nami, and then the int orbs that Jinbei provides, you can get through the barrier, and you can just easily kill Bonney on stage 2. Just keep the recovery orbs on your right-hand side, because Nami makes them, but you do get block orbs on this final stage. There's also 6 turns of defense up, 6 turns of chain coefficient reduction, and attack down if you're below a certain chain. Also, you can't use chain boundaries on this stage too, but I just decided to throw the Brûlée support on my, what's her name? I threw the Brûlée support on Nami to rotate the block orbs, so that way I didn't have to worry about using Bonney as my captain. Using Robin friend captain sets defense to 0, using Lilith as my captain and Robin removes both of the despair, and then I can just use Sanji to increase all those effects. Now, Bonney is literally just here to look pretty. Like, she doesn't do anything for the crew. She only gives her effects if she's a captain, but she's a boosted character. She does quite a lot of damage. However, if you have your own Robin, just want to throw your own Robin on that particular slot, and you will be off to the absolute races. But that's going to wrap up the video there, my teams. Probably subject to change, but honestly, with how busy I am, I don't even know if I'll get time to do another treasure map video. But hopefully you guys are enjoying the ride, and just remember to have fun. Most importantly, though, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you all for watching. Build the like button, build the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. And I'll catch you all in the next one.